Hi guys, welcome to the Quick Start GRE Prep video series. They're just going to be a series of 5-minute long episodes to give you a kind of crash course in GRE techniques and tricks. These are the methods that are proving to be very effective with my own prep, and I hope that they'll help you guys out as well. This particular video is about how to write the issue task on the GRE analytical writing section. A few things to note before we start though. The analytical writing section is the first thing that you'll encounter when you give your GRE. So if this section goes well, then it will definitely help boost your confidence up, which is great for the rest of your exam. You'll have 30 minutes to write the entire issue essay. So you'll have to time yourself well. I'm just going to talk about time division in a minute. And one more thing to note is that you won't have any breaks in between both the essays. So make sure that you completely clear your mind after finishing one essay and before starting the other one. Make sure that your mind is completely free of the previous essay that you wrote. The last point is specifically for the issue task. This is what I keep telling myself. You have to treat it like a debate. You can either be for the statement made or you can be against it. Do not write like an ambiguous essay, which is half supporting the statement and half opposing it. You have to choose your viewpoint beforehand and then stick with the viewpoint till the conclusion. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk to you about is how to go about your preparation for analytical writing. I would suggest that you practice a set format, that you have a set format, that paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and so on, and just fit that format in based on the topic that you get. I'll show you what format I follow in a minute. Okay. Secondly, time division, like I said, is very, very important. So you should divide your time in a way that allows you a few minutes to jot down the examples for both sides of the argument. Then you should have time to choose which stand you want to take, whether you're for the argument, whether that's easier to write, or against. And then take around 20 minutes to actually type out the essay and take about 2 to 3 minutes to do your spell check and make sure that your grammar and punctuation are in order. At the end of this video, I'll share with you guys a few phrases and words which make an essay sound well formed and coherent and in a proper flow. Once you practice a couple of essays, you'll begin to understand how to plug in these words and phrases pretty seamlessly. Okay. One more thing to note is that ETS has made the entire list of essay topics available online on their website. I'm just going to link to it in the description. So you should try going over as many topics as you can, just so you're confident that you have enough general knowledge to write about any of them. See, you don't need to be an expert in politics or history or pop culture to write a good essay. That's not what they're looking for. But depending on the essay topic, you should be able to give 2 to 3 very specific examples from history or from current affairs or from some kind of personal experience. And the more relevant your examples are, the better your score will be. So just go over as many topics as you can. That's what I'm going to do. And just make sure that there are no nasty surprises on the day of the exam. Like there's no topic which I'm completely unaware of. Like I don't know anything about. Okay. Also, like I said before, just make sure that you practice a couple of essays before the test date. Because trust me, reading the theory of how to write an essay versus actually writing an essay are completely different things. I used to think this way when I gave my SATs, and when I gave them for the second time, I realized I should have practiced more the first time because the second time I got a full. Anyway, this is the format that I think is most cogent. Note here that paragraph 4 is optional, so only write the third example if you have time. So I would suggest writing all of the paragraphs apart from paragraph 4, like 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6, and then go back to 4 if you have time at the end. And if not, then just leave it. It's okay. Your essay is going to be fully formed without paragraph 4. And another thing is that a lot of people combine the last two paragraphs. What paragraph 5 is basically is that it's an opposing view, like what you've chosen. Suppose you've chosen to write for the topic and you're writing for the topic. In paragraph 5, you'll mention one or two points which support the against view of the topic. And then you're going to refute it and say why your decision is better, or why the viewpoint that you've chosen is better. So some people, what they do is they combine both these paragraphs, the conclusion and this paragraph, and they like present it as a combined conclusion. You can do that as well, but I find that it's more coherent if you put it down as two separate thought processes and leave the conclusion as an actual conclusion. All right. Finally, I think this is going to help everybody the most in this entire video. This is a list of phrases that you can use to make your essay sound more professional. You don't have to exactly use all of these, but obviously you need transitional phases to link one paragraph to another and to link within a paragraph, like from one thought process to another thought process. And for your conclusion paragraph, you need a certain beginning, for example. These are the phrases that I found look most impressive in an essay. So everywhere that I've written a star is what you fill in based on the topic. So for example, uh, this is this is one thing that you can say. This example demonstrates that, and then you fill it in depending on the topic. For example, this example demonstrates that scientific research demands more funding, or whatever, depends on what the topic is. And then your conclusion of the essay can be something like, in conclusion, or all things considered, or given these points. Like you can write finally, and you can write like these normal words like but, yet, and still, and all of those things. But I think this list, the words in this list and the phrases in this list, they sound a little more professional. All right, thanks for watching, guys. And I'm going to link all the important links that I feel like everybody should have access to in the description. And best of luck and keep watching.